Well, welcome to my vlog. You haven't heard from me for a while. Hope you're all okay. Hope you're all enjoying your fishing as we're moving into the summer period. Been a bit of a tricky season for me so far. You know, I'd planned to do a big winter campaign on the Trout Lake. If you watched my last vlog that went out in November, you know, I was doing all right on there. I was having a few off that lake, and I planned to do the winter, but lockdown stopped me being able to do that. So the highlight of the winter was filming the Day Tripper series with DNA. I got to meet up with Ollie, the new cameraman, and yeah, we went up to a little private lake not far from where I live, and yeah, a successful trip. We had a few where we had quite a lot of fish, if I'm honest. Yeah, a few 20-pounders as well for the camera, so that was all good. That was probably the highlight of the winter, which frustrating really, because I do love my winter fishing and I do get out quite a lot, but for obvious reasons it didn't really come to much. But this session certainly made up for it, because yeah, we had a fantastic time and managed to get a good piece for the cameras. So as we move out of the winter period, you know, we start to see the signs of spring. You know, that's when I start doing my work down at the fishery, preparing the lake for the summer really. You know, swim repairs, track repairs, you know, there's always lots to do. Here we are. We netted the lake this year, which we do from time to time, just a stock assessment, you know, checking the condition of the fish, make sure they're all good and they're in good wraps, and as you can see here, they're looking really good. These are the guys from Carp Fisheries, and yeah, they did a fabulous job for us. It was a good afternoon. And this is me liming the lake, getting killing the silt really, reducing the silt, bringing it to life, and getting some insects and some aquatic life in it, which, you know, the proof's in the pudding. And here's one of our bailiffs with our first homegrown 30-pounders, so yeah, really good times. Well, you join me down at stables and it's just finished raining. It's been raining this morning, so I was here last week. I was shooting a mindset piece with DNA and we shot it down here. While we was here, we chucked the rods out and I had a couple on the zigs, so I kind of thought I'll come down and have another go on the zigs, but the weather's kind of, I know it looks nice and bright now, but it's been raining all morning and there's no fish on the top at the moment, or only odd ones. So all I've done is just fire some bags, little bags of what I'm using, bug, and a bit of the krill powder. Just firing it at fizzers, that's all I'm doing at the moment. It's going to brighten up this afternoon a bit more, so we'll see. They might get on the top, or we might have to adjust our tactics, but for the time being, I've had a couple of liners, so we'll see. Maybe get a daytime bite from stables. That's a bite. Started off on the zigs, because like I say, last time I was here I was doing alright. Had a few bites on the zigs, but different weather conditions on this visit. Bit overcast, had a bit of rain this morning, and a bit of fizzing, which tells me the fish are on the bottom, so I've had this real little fish, a little bit of ghost in him. There's one or two in here like this, but not many. But it's a start. We've had a bite, we're not blanking. I've seen a couple of nice fish in the swim as well. Let's see what the rest of the day brings us. It's been on my radar for a while, is this. It's a place called Belvoir Waters. A friend told me about it. He showed me a picture of one of the fish out of here, and I thought, so it's a day ticket fishery. The beauty of it is, for us in this situation, we're in the camper van and you can drive into your swim on this lake, so it's absolutely perfect, because you're limited, aren't you, with that type of fishing. So I dropped him a message. He said, yeah, come down, it's fine, it's no problem. And real helpful guy. He's put us in this swim down at the bottom end of the lake. It's about 20 plus acres, so there's plenty of room. There's not many people fishing here at all. And yeah, we've landed on our feet, so we've got the rods out. I'm fishing at about 10 wraps, just short of some weed. He said it's a good spot, you know, it's just that marginal shelf. Fishing in about 8 foot, just short of where the weed gets dead thick, where I don't want to be fishing because it's quite tough. I pulled a lead through it, it's pretty tough. So yeah, really pleased we've come down here. We've got a couple of nights on this lake, so hopefully the trip can turn from a negative into a positive. We might just be able to nick a bite from this lake while we're here. Okay, so we didn't get anything through the night, and I got up in the morning and the fish started showing on the top just like they were yesterday, and I thought, right, it's definitely zig time. Although I didn't have a bite on the zigs yesterday, there was one or two that had a little bit of a mooch, and we've got one this morning. So it's been a bit of a trip, but eventually we got one, and look at this. Absolute stunning 24-pound mirror, and it's taken a zig with a bit of the sticky sweet on it, which is what I always do, just that little bit of flavour. I don't know whether it makes a difference, but I always do it. It seems to get one. So what a mega result from what's been a pretty tough trip, if I'm honest. You know, I've tried my best and it just hasn't happened for me, so God loves a trier. So there it is. The result of a few days graft. Even when you think it's not going to happen, it's always worth trying, because you never know, because occasionally one comes along when it doesn't look likely. So we'll drop him back and he can go back in this lake and grow into a bigger fish, I'm sure. Salted.
Good man.
Breath of fresh air, really. I've really enjoyed it. It's been quiet. That's what I really like about the lake. You know, as I mentioned before, you know, the day tickets across the country are pretty busy at the moment. You know, people still fare low, but this place is still pretty quiet, and I've really enjoyed it. And it's certainly not easy fishing. I've only seen an handful of fish caught in the what we've done 6 nights down here. So to have 3 myself, I'm quite pleased with that. But we're moving into the last night. I've done 2 laps of the lake and I've not seen anything. You know, sometimes they're just showing and they're there and they're in the margins, but tonight nothing. We've been up to the pub. There's a walking distance pub, which another thing I like about this lake as well. So we've been up to the pub for our tea. Wife's in the bus watching the football, and I'm just sat here. I've got one more rod to do and I'm hoping I see something, but it's not looking like they're going to show. You know, sometimes they look really catchable, these fish, and other times they're just super spooky. In my swim, well, I actually moved swims. I was down on that wind, and I did have a bite yesterday on the wind. It's a big lake, this. It's over 20 acres, and although I had a fish, I just weren't seeing a lot. And I had a walk up here and I seen maybe 20 or 30 fish up here, some nice ones as well. So we moved round, and on this lake I weighed my rods out, because the weeds, I've got to find really small areas to fish in the weed. And I wondered if I'd made a mistake, you know, because I didn't see another fish, but it's gone off this morning. Not one of the big fish out of this lake. Bites aren't easy on this lake, so I'll take it. I've had 2 this trip, and this is my 2nd trip here, and I had that nice 24-pounder on my first trip, so it's been kind to me, is this lake, and it's a lovely wild lake. The way carp fishing seems to be at the moment, you know, to have 2 anglers on 20+ acres on a real wild lake like this. I'm enjoying my fishing down here. you join me on my new syndicate. I am at a place called Langholme in Lincolnshire. Now, I don't know a lot about this lake. It used to be a Carp Society water, but it's not now. A couple of guys have taken it on and it's doing really well. It's very sought after ticket is this place now. I was on the waiting list over 3 years before I got myself down here, so I'm really happy to be here. A blank last night. I wasn't fishing here, I was fishing over the other side of the lake, but I've seen a few here this morning, so I've got a few hours left before I have to get off, because I'm not a weekend member, so it's Friday and I have to get off soon. So I thought I'd just pop around and chuck a few singles at them, but I don't think it's going to happen on this visit. But it's a long summer and there's plenty of time to catch one on here. So hopefully throughout the course of the summer vlogs that I'll be shooting, I'll show you some of the mega fish that reside in this lake. Right, morning folks. Yeah, I'm back down at the syndicate now. It's reopened after spawning, and I didn't get the start I wanted down here. Mixture of bad luck and bad angling, if I'm honest. I haven't had a fish yet until this morning, and it hasn't disappointed. There's some really pretty fish in this lake. Some really nice fish. This one, I don't know, I haven't weighed it yet. Probably low to mid 20 pounder. Coming on the bog. I'm just in a little bay. I'm in a swim called West Winds, for those of you that know the lake. There is a westerly blowing into it, and there was quite a few fish here when I got here yesterday, so nothing through the night. But it's about 5 o'clock in the morning, the middle rod's ripped off, and I've seen a couple while I was playing it, so I think there is possibly a chance of another bite. There she goes, we'll get her back. Well, you saw me have that lovely mirror yesterday. That was 22.10, that fish, so real happy to have that fish. Got off the mark on this lake. It's been a bit slow coming, but we've started now. I did think I was going to get another fish actually. There was still 1 or 2 fish left, although I'd had a fish in the bay. It's only a small bay here, and you can imagine, you know, you have a fish in it, it kind of disturbs everything. But I did think I was going to get another one, but they pushed out. I was watching the lake. There's kind of like the point swim to my right, and then number 5, which is in the bottom corner of the other bank. They started smashing it up. There were fish rolling everywhere, so I kind of thought, yeah, right, they've done the off. But those 2 swims were occupied, so I couldn't really do a lot about it. But I did think they might come back. The wind's still pushing in here, and they did. You know, around about tea time I started seeing heads showing, getting a bit closer, and I thought, hey, they're going to come back in here. So my right hand rod, to my right of my swim there's a stock pond there, and the channel that runs down the side of it is a good spot. You know, there's some clear spots in there as well, but there are only small patches in the weed, so I want it to be 100%. So this time I walked the rod round with a bucket of bait and just gently dropped my bait just out of swan depth, and just gently dropped a bait on it, and I thought, yeah, that's a spot. They've cleaned it out, totally yellow, you can see it with your Polaroids on, and dropped a bit of bait on it. And while I was there, I'd spooked 2 fish, both mirrors and both big uns, possibly 30 pounders. They were both proper big uns. So I was kind of like thinking, hey, we could be all right here. And about 9 o'clock, right hand rod melts round. You know it's not going to end well, don't you? I got it 2/3 of the way back. Lead had come off, fish was on the top. and it rolled, and I've just seen the flank of it. It was about that deep, scaly mirror. But yeah, this is a proper one, and it just straight rodded me into a weed bed, and I didn't get it out the weed, just hook pulled in the weed, pulled the lock back. So this is carp fishing, and these things happen, I guess. But yeah, it was a good one as well, so I was not very happy, and after that nothing else happened. So that's the end of this vlog. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been bits and bobs from here, there and everywhere this time, hasn't it? But like I say, I hope you've enjoyed it, and take care, enjoy your fishing, and I'll catch up with you soon.